love making new friends.
I'm Michelle, by the way.
I'm Lisa.
But you one crazy ass bitch.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you don't know this, it's your girl KylerB coming at you with a new video. So today we're going to be talking about Cruel Summer Season 2, Episode 10. It's called the season finale of Season 2. So I was obviously watching the season. I gave you guys my, watch along with me with my reaction to the first episode of Season 2. I did a mid-season recap with Episode 5. And now I'm going to just sum up the finale. Okay, so to basically continue on what I was saying in the 5th episode review, yes, it was when we find out that Megan was very selfish, it seems like she's not really a writer. She's not a ride or die for Isabella. It was very obvious. So in this season finale, obviously, from episode 9, they tied up Luke and basically got him to confess about the whole situation. So we found out that Luke was the one who recorded the tape. He's the one who aired the tape out. So this whole, who recorded it was Luke. Who's the one who played the tape at the movie at the winter fest thing? It was Luke. So they got his tea. And then that episode 9 where Isabella, she shot the gun and basically nicked his ear. I was like, the thing of how it happened is that this guy basically lied on Isabella's name. He lied on Isabella's name, basically said that she was the one who kissed him when that wasn't the case. Then got Megan, not believing her. And the only reason that Megan even believed the whole situation was because she caught Luke talking about, juggling both Isabella and Megan and da. That's the reason why she even believed him, was because of the whole catching him speaking to the guys about, I got Isabella and Megan, da. So then she's the one who was suggested that Isabella and her come up with this plan to get back at Luke. She's the one. I guess Isabella was the one who suggested to bring the truth serum pills, and she did. But when she was doing the truth serum drinks, or when they were trying to pour out drinks herself, but I was like, it looked very fishy that you wanted Luke and Isabella to drink, and then you're not drinking. But then I guess it made sense because she was preggo. Also, with the fact that Isabella added another truth serum to the drink. So he had 2 pills plus alcohol in his system after still drinking alcohol, prior to the whole situation. Then he was lying on Isabella's name, and the whole situation got heated because they decided to not tell Megan about the whole, Luke and Isabella doing the deed before, Megan and Luke got together. And the thing is that Luke decided not to tell Megan, that he was with Isabella before he was with Megan. And Megan thinking that Luke and him are each other's first time or whatever. So, since Isabella wanted to keep Megan happy, she decided to agree with not telling Megan about the whole situation. To be honest, I don't think the situation is that deep. If Isabella and Luke didn't cheat together, while he was still with Megan, then it doesn't even matter because it was before he was with Megan. The thing is that the only reason that Isabella even broke up with Luke was for Megan, because she saw that she really liked Luke, and obviously Luke and her have this long time friendship bond, so It just would have made sense. Now, I'm just like, that's already one sacrifice that Isabella did that she didn't even have to do. So there we have it there. So the next thing you know, she's upset. She's like, oh, you lied to me, or you basically withheld information of, them being together before Megan and Luke got together. So she was so mad at Isabella, like, oh, like she was such a bad person because she decided to, agree with Luke, the one who suggested to keep the secret of the whole situation, about the whole situation. Then Luke came and turned around on Isabella and said, like, oh, yeah, she's always jealous, da 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 da. And like basically aired out everything that both Megan and him talk about concerning Isabella. So Isabella felt cornered. She felt like, like the friendship that she had with Megan just basically got override by Luke and Megan's relationship. So obviously in a frantic rage, she accidentally shot Luke's ear. So I was just like, this whole situation is like such a messy situation at all. So with this whole Luke basically, revealing this whole situation that he was the one who was the cause of the tape, I was like, oh wow, we thought it was Jeff, we thought it was Brent, but no, it was Luke all along. So the Luke episode, where we basically see the backstory of how this happened, because he wanted to be in the Coast Guard, and his father was like, no, you got to go to Branson. And then basically at the winter party, the Christmas party, Steve roughed him up and basically said, you need to put that Coast Guard to rest because you're going to Branson. So he thought, showing a tape, would, mess up this whole Chambers image and basically make him still go to the Coast Guard. And that tape just made everything worse. The whole situation is that Steve really likes, wants to keep this whole family Chambers image intact. And I'm just like, it started with this whole, the mother, the cause of the mother's death that they blamed on Luke. They basically said Luke was the reason that their mother died, when it was in fact the mother was being under the influence and with an 8-year-old in the backseat. And they got in an accident and she ended up dying. So Luke had to take the fall over being the reason that his mother died. So that's one thing. This whole Brent situation, Brent with this whole tape situation, Steve keeping it under the rug, basically like, oh, trying to keep it hush hush. Also, if anybody remember, I think episode 7, 8, when Isabella was at the car wash and Brent basically pulled her top. And Steve was right there. He was like, oh, he was just joking. You're all right. He's just playing. And then he didn't even have nothing to say. He was just like, you're all right, and walked off. Isabella basically got harassed. And then she had to fix herself up and then, act like nothing happened. And I'm just like, wow, they wouldn't put that in the show if, she wouldn't have get her poetic justice. And we obviously see that in the finale. She got her poetic justice. Because I'm just like, this guy is so obsessed or so concerned with the family image that, he just tries to sweep everything under the rug. That was a time that you should have just checked Brent and let him know that you shouldn't be doing that. But he just he saw what happened and basically oh, you're all right. So then next thing you know, so with the whole fact that Megan is very selfish, from Isabella taking the fall for the whole, tape and saying it was her so Megan can keep her scholarship, from breaking up to Luke, a lot of, different things to show that she's her ride or die. I was saying that one scene in particular that showed you basically the biggest downfall to that relationship was definitely when, after Isabella took the fall for the tape, Isabella overheard Megan and Luke talking upstairs, And she basically repeated the same ride or die mantra to Luke. She repeated the same mantra to Luke, and Isabel overheard. And I'm just like, Isabel was probably like, I thought this was between me and you. Why are you adding Luke to the whole situation? So she was just like, okay, if I was in your position, would you do the same for me? And that's a big no. Megan's not doing that for you. Like, let it be known right now, she's not doing that for you. You can obviously tell when Jeff basically, I guess, got caught up with this whole fake ID situation, which Megan made. He basically had to like fess up. So he basically said it was Megan who made the fake ID. And basically that was the sole reason why Megan lost her scholarship. So she was wanting Jeff to, I guess, take the fall. But Jeff was like, I gotta go to school too. Like, you're not the only one who's trying to get out of Chatham. Like, I'm trying to go to college too. So the ending though, basically Brent basically was the one who accidentally killed Luke because they got into a fight and he knocked him over into the lake. He took a bit of time. He took maybe 60 seconds before he jumped into the lake. I mean, as soon as you heard that clink, you should have jumped in after Luke and tried to see if you can get him. But no. And it was nighttime. So he took a bit of time to jump in. So he jumped in the lake, he couldn't find Luke, and basically Luke presumably drowned. Comes in, tells his father that he accidentally killed his brother. And what does the father do? The father covers it up and basically sends out a witch hunt to basically pin the blame on Isabella, Megan, or the guy who lives in the woods. Basically. So you know your son all along killed your other son, supposedly. And you want a witch hunt to basically blame it on somebody else so the chamber's name could be intact. Like, so unserious. So they had the sheriff doing all of that, knowing good and well your son was responsible. Now, after Isabella and, Megan decided to, I guess, come back and try to, like, clear their names and stuff like that, Isabella was just asking, like, oh, we should, like, reconcile our friendship. And the thing is that Megan's like, no, we were desperate. Like, this is not a friendship. Like, we were just desperate to clear our names. So Isabella's like, you're just selfish. Like, before to be honest, she was speaking real. Before Isabella even came to town, she highly doubts you and Luke would ever get together. Also, you would step out of your comfort zone. Granted, a lot of things, happened along the way. But to be honest, before this whole New Year's situation or Christmas party situation, Isabella, Luke, and Megan were cool. But Luke had his situations. Isabella tried to be a good friend. I think she was definitely overcompensating for, what's going on with her. And then Megan just really cared about herself. Also, we find out that Isabella basically doctored the footage, basically the tape, where basically both her and Megan were in the cabin, when she shot Luke in the ear. But she doctored the tape, basically leaving Megan only on the tape. And she sent it to the police. She packed her bags and dipped.
And I do hope you enjoy your flight.
Escaping? Excuse me?
She packed her bags and dipped. She went to Ibiza, okay? So then, next thing you know, after Brent confessed and basically said, like, no, I'm not going to let Megan, one of my longtime friends, get the blame for this murder, I did. So he confessed and basically got himself arrested. And basically, since Steve was the one who is an accessory to the whole situation, he's going to jail too. So I'm like, Isabella got her little poetic justice. So I guess since Megan really liked Luke, and obviously that was her longtime childhood friend, despite everything that happened, she was paying her respects to him, and I guess at the lake that he died at. She looked up and saw that there was a camera staring directly out at the cabin lake. So she, I guess, hacked into the camera system, and she saw that Isabella was the one who actually killed Luke. Like, please, oh my gosh. No, like the biggest plot twist was Megan finding that camera that peers directly over the lake. And she basically hacks into it and finds out that Isabella was the one who found Luke's body. Luke somehow, I guess, washed up on the beach, on the shore, whatever, on the lake, whatever. And he was still alive. He was still breathing. And with a bit of CPR and, chest compressions, he would have been good. Went to the hospital. He would have been still kicking. Isabella found him and basically put her foot on his head and basically suffocate him to drown him, and pushed his body into the lake, into the sea, whatever. Basically, that's what she did. So Brent thinking that he actually killed his brother, when in actually, his brother was still breathing. He washed up to the lake. He washed up to the shore. And it was actually Isabella who killed him. And I'm just like, that makes you think about this whole Lisa situation. Because Lisa also drowned. So did Lisa actually drown, or did she drown? Okay? Did she drown or did she drown? Because with that being said, when we saw her on the plane flying to Ibiza, and she said her name was Lisa, and she was talking to this other girl named Michelle, and saying that she's going to have Michelle as her tour guide to Ibiza. I was like, this girl, I don't know if she's okay, but to be honest, throughout the entire season, I was on Isabella's side. I think Isabella could have been pretty normal, pretty okay, but I think a lot of the selfish tendencies that Megan had really, set her off. I think she wanted to have a best friend, and to be honest, that best friend role was actually taken by Luke. Luke was her childhood best friend that became her boyfriend. And because of the help of Isabella breaking up with him and basically pairing them together. But that she already had a best friend. Luke was her best friend. And Isabella thought, well, at least if her and Luke were, together, she would still have her best friend. But no, she was always the third person in the relationship. She was always the odd man out, basically. Luke and Megan had so much history, so much whatever, that Isabella just was the odd person out in that relationship. So it is what it is. I mean, the plot twist was the plot twist. At the end of the day, Isabella had poetic justice, because the Chambers family, even though you kind of might feel bad for Brent, Brent went unchecked the previous summer for what he did. He went unchecked. And plus, the other things that he did, he went unchecked. So, it is what it is. Steve, yeah, all this cover up and hush hush, he's doing the time. Megan, I don't know. I don't even think she's going to even put that footage to the police. Maybe she will, maybe she won't, but she's gonna live with the fact that the person that she was best friends with was the one who killed her best friend. Okay. And the whole Prego storyline, I guess she wanted to keep the kid with Luke, but I don't think Luke was for it at all. So I don't even know what happened, but she obviously lost the kid. So, but this was actually interesting season of Cruel Summer. I'm not sure if they're gonna have a third season. I mean, they did try their best to, keep it entertaining, try to differentiate it from the season 1. Obviously, season 1 is definitely the best season of Cruel Summer. There's only 2, but it's definitely kept us on our toes for season 1. Season 2, the episodes didn't pick up until maybe episode 5 and episode 7, and then maybe episode 10. It was episode 5, 7, and 10 that really kept the viewers in. But yeah, I definitely did enjoy the season. I was definitely Team Isabella throughout. At the end of the day, she got away with murder, quite literally. And yeah. Anyway, guys, if you like the video, comment down below. Let me know your thoughts, comments, concerns. Do not subscribe to my channel. Subscribe. Anyway, thank you guys for watching this video. Peace.